Are you looking for a strong bow build in ESO but don't know where to go? You don't want to miss this video. This is the Toxic Marksman build. This is a very strong rage build. We wanted to keep the amount of damage over time abilities casted to a minimum, so there's little less to focus on while performing the rotation. It has some strong AoE skills as well that should clear out trash very quickly. So let's get into it. For this build, you're going to go with the Dark Elf race. It's going to allow you to maximize your DPS. For the Mundus, we're going with the Thief. You want to put 64 points into stamina. For food, you want to go with Lava Foot Soup. Potions, you want to use Essence of Spell Power. For this build, we're only going to use one piece of a monster set, Vulcan Scoria, just for the offensive penetration, close to 1500. Perfected Reliquin. This is a great trial set. If you're able to collect all pieces, it's going to give you 675 crit chance for the second and fourth item. And then the big kicker here is going to give you 520 physical damage per second to the enemy. And this is also going to scale on your weapon or spell damage. You're also going to get Minor Slayer at all times, which is going to boost your damage by 5%. Now, if you can't get a hold of the Perfected Reliquin, we're going to include a dungeon set and also a crafted set, so you guys can follow those as well. On the back bar, we're using Perfected Thunderous Volley, which drops in VMA. Our next set, surprise, surprise, Kenra's Wrath. This is a great set. You just have to be very good at light attack weaving. Once you get 5 stacks from light attacking, you're going to get Major Berserk, and anyone standing in that 12-meter circle around you, they're going to get Minor Berserk. So you get 10% damage boost while your party gains 5% with Minor Berserk. Great set. Once you have everything put together, here is what it's going to look like. You're going to wear 5 light pieces and 2 medium pieces. Also keep in mind, the weapon on the front bar is going to be the Kenra's Wrath bow. Make sure you trade it in precise. Champion points. In Warfare, you want to put points into Wrathful Strikes, Deadly Aim, Master at Arms, and Taunt Mirage. In Fitness, you want to put your points in Boundless Vitality, Fortified, Rejuvenation, and Spirit Mastery. In crafting, this is all up to you, but we recommend Steed's Blessing, Liquid Efficiency, and Rationeer. Now let's take a look at our skills. Cutting Dive is going to be your main spammable. Not only will it knock the target off balance, but it will give them a bleed as well for 7 seconds. So make sure during your rotation you go back to casting your Cutting Dive to make sure that you keep this bleed up on the target. Poison Injection. Not only is this a dot, you want to treat this as an execute. When the target is below about 35%, go ahead and cast this, as it's going to deal double the amount of damage. Subterranean Assault. This is going to be the main difference in your DPS numbers. The person that can cast this more effectively and efficiently will see their DPS increase over those who, let's say, are less efficient at it. Barb Trap. This is one skill where you're gonna have to get up close to use. Once the enemy basically steps on it, it's gonna give them a bleed and also grant you Minor Force, which is gonna increase your critical damage. Camouflaged Hunter. That is only here basically for the passives. You do not have to cast this. It's gonna grant us Major Savagery and Minor Berserk. Wild Guardian, which is the bread and butter for any Warden ultimate. Not only is it going to give them bleed, it's going to attack enemies in front of it, but it's also going to be a finisher or an execute. So when enemies are below 25%, make sure you save your ultimate up, as it'll deal 100% more damage when they're under that range. And now for the back bar, Arrow Barrage. This is going to be a AoE skill, which you're going to try to cast about every 8 to 10 seconds. Growing Swarm. This was nerfed a little bit, meaning that you can only cast it on one target at a time. It is going to grant you minor vulnerability, as well as increase the damage taken to the enemy by 5%. So this is going to be a little buff to the party as well, but make sure you only cast it on one enemy during its duration. Winter's Revenge. This is going to cast an AoE in an area that you select for 12 seconds, and this is also going to scale off of our weapon damage. Acid spray. Not only is this a great dot to add to your repertoire, but this is also a good trash clearing ability. Bull Netch. This is something you want to cast every 25 seconds. Because it grants you major brutality, it's going to increase your spell and weapon damage by 20%. And when it's all said and done, here's a look at your front and back bars, what they should look like once you have everything set up correctly. For your passives, you want to make sure you have all of these selected: bow, light armor, medium armor, fighter's guild, undaunted, all your racial skills, alchemy for medicinal use, and provisioning for connoisseur. For the rotation, you want to pre-buff with Wild Guardian. Make sure the bearer summon. Bull Netch before you engage with the enemies, then you want to cast Subterranean Assault, followed by Poison Injection, Endless Hell, Growing Swarm, and then Winter's Revenge. Keep those dots up. You will be using Cutting Dive as your spammable. When the boss is in execute, you will keep your dots up, but swap Cutting Dive to Poison Injection as a spammable. Camouflage Hunter is just on the bar to boost your damage. We won't be casting this skill. When you are clearing trash, you mainly want to be on your back bar, cast Growing Swarm, Arrow Barrage, Winter's Revenge, and then spam Acid Spray until the group is killed. And there you have it. For more guides, please make sure you visit mancavegaming.net or check out the other videos on YouTube. For other versions of this build, like dungeon or crafted sets, also on the website mancavegaming.net. I'll go ahead and leave the rest of this parsing video up. If you have any questions, go ahead and comment below.